You heard the sound. That means the restaurant brokers are back on the air with Restaurant Reality. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon talking about topics trending in the restaurant business. Today, we've been talking to Food Network megastar Alton Brown and Patricia Katopus, a Cupcake Wars winner. And that's really both ends of the spectrum when it comes to Food Network star because you have that iconic long term legacy approach and then an up and coming star, someone who went out there with very little experience and bested all the other competitors on Cupcake Wars. But it's just not as easy as it looks. Isn't that the reality, Eric?
Yes, I think Alton said it best today when he talked about the reality of the business, making it all the way to the Food Network. I mean, talented people are everywhere, and talent is a very small amount of the equation. It takes, as he called it, the ability to look at yourself with a cold, dispassionate eye. He was talking about Food Network, but the same could be said about the restaurant industry. You
I,
need to look at.
no, go ahead. I think that's absolutely on par. You're exactly right because a lot of folks will have a passion or energy or excitement for the business, but they're really not ready to step back and do the analytical work and put in the hours and the time and the effort to push these themselves forward and push their concept forward. There are a lot of talented chefs who simply don't have all the elements that they need to either land their show if they're looking for a position on a major network or from opening their restaurant and doing the long-term pain it takes to get to that ultimate game.
I agree. I mean, the chefs got to look at their stuff and what they cook, their ability to do things, and be very realistic with themselves. I mean, you can be a great chef to cook one thing, you think it's good, but if you only have 500 people a month coming to your restaurant, it is probably not good enough. You have to do better. You have to be realistic. So, okay, this is not working. I have to change course. Or I am a great chef. I am a poor business person. Just like Alton said, people on the Food Network, or Patricia said even that today. I mean, when you're on the Food Network, very different skill set than running, being a restaurateur or being a great, restaurant chef. So, based on that, what else have you seen, Robin, that happened
Well,
today?
when you see these folks on Food Network, and I think that the next Food Network star is a great example of that, it's just like sellers. They think it's just as easy as being good at what they do and putting it in a great menu with recipes developed from the heart. But when the camera goes on, they are like a deer in the headlights. It's not enough to make your restaurant a superstar just with good food. It takes hard work, a commitment. You have to market, you have to network, you have to let people know the restaurant is out there and do the time. I mean, on average, it will take you 18 to 24 months to establish profitability in a competitive environment like, say, the Atlanta metro area. And we have restaurateurs all the time approach us with a business plan and they have enough capital to make it 3 or 4 months. And the reality is they're not going to make it in that period of time. You've got to have the resources to wait out all of the business that you thought was going to happen day one that's not going to happen, the over expense that's going to happen from the build out that you expected would cost you 30,000 and be done in 30 days and it costs you 90 and takes you a year. All those things add up and you've got to be willing to invest all your energy and time into that.
Yeah, part of this is it takes a village. A lot of time it takes a village to make a change. Well, in the restaurant business, you can be the number one chef in the world, but if you don't have a team around you and a culture around you, your restaurant will still fail. So you have to build this. It takes time to get people to look at your vision and to buy into your vision and to become what you need them to be. There's some really, really big Union Square out of New York hire people. They said, we don't hire waiters. We hire people that are compassionate. And that's the number one thing they look at. They look at their vision. They hire through their vision first, and then it's easier for them to fit in the model. So you can hire the best waiter in town, but if he's not the right way in your vision, it's going to be hard. It's going to take time to find the right people. So that's why when we talk 18, 24 months, it's not, I can get the restaurant packed, in the first 90 days. Haha, Eric and Robin, you were wrong. Everybody's going to come check you out. You're the new kid on the block. Everybody's going to come give you a shake at it. But like most of us do, if you don't have a good experience or if you're not seeing what you're trying to accomplish, they're not coming back. They're not going to send you an email. They're not going to send you a text. They're not going to tweet. They're going to tell everybody, and they won't come back. And that's what happened, and we come in. So you have to build something and be very, very dispassionate and look at it from a objective eye, like restaurant brokers do, and um, carry on to success, Rob.
And I think I would love to go through our listings sometime and figure out of the listings we have that are asset sales, how many of those have been in business for less than a year? Because we get those calls all the time. Someone who spent a bunch of money, they've been open less than a year, and the owners do a great job building it out. It's beautiful. They have great food, and the concept's just starting to develop in the community. But what they fail to take into account is that late nights, toll on family life, how long it's going to take, and how much capital, and the amount of time that owner is going to individually have to provide with his own discipline, hard work, and energy before he or she would be able to step away. And 4 or 5 months in, they're burned out and they're calling us.
Absolutely. One other thing that Alton talked about today is also look what's outside. I mean, we have buyers that comes and they want to look at the books and they want to look at the numbers and they want to look at the lease and they want to look at everything, and they get so deep into these numbers. And at the end of the day, the restaurant just not have enough sales. They don't have enough sales. 90% of the time, if you can grow the sales, it will solve your problem. So the answer to your questions or to your worries or could keep you up at night, it's actually outside of your door. Is there churches around here? Is there a local community center? Is there apartments? Is there a office building? Is there shopping centers? What is around you that you can bond with to create more sales? But people fail to do that. They buy the business. They have a plan to, cut food costs, fire the manager, do all these things. But these are short-term gain. In the long run, it's not going to work. So what happened, Robbins, if they don't do the sales? And what happened if they can grow sales?
Well, the reality is that's what keeps us in business. There are those people who dream every single day of owning a restaurant, and sometimes those who decide it's not right for them. And either way, no matter what you see on Food Network or any TV show, you're not going to solve that restaurant and bring it to success in 60 minutes or even in a single season. It's a long-term commitment to your dream. And speaking of dreams, we've got some new listings to talk about, hot off the press. One of our latest listing is the most coveted concept in the country. We have a Subway restaurant for sale in the metro Atlanta area. It's a well-established store and what we call a franchise resale. This is an incredibly rare gift, and we expect multiple offers on it.
Yeah, it is the only Subway for sale that we're aware of in the state of Georgia. So if you're looking for a Subway anywhere in Georgia, please call us. That is a bargain at that price also.
We also have a Dickey's Barbecue out there on the website, and Southerners, they love their barbecue, and we're going to do a show about that before long because barbecue is close to our hearts. But we have a store in the state of Georgia for less than $40,000, and we're not just talking about the franchise opportunity. We're talking the full store, open for business and generating sales today for less than $50,000. So Subway for $169,000. Dickey's Barbecue for under $40,000. Pretty good stuff.
Absolutely. A brand new store, Dickey's Barbecue. If you go put one on the street tomorrow from scratch, it'll cost you about $500,000. That is less than about 10 cents on the dollars or less, Robin.
Unbelievable. Well, those aren't the only listings available from the restaurant brokers. You can find these listings and many, many more on our powerhouse website, WeSellRestaurants.com. Our Twitter feed also features our restaurant for sale listings, along with all the latest news, information, and even podcasts of this show right there on WeSellRestaurants.com. We're hoping we've been able to satisfy your appetite for acquisition today, feed your need for restaurant reality, and serve up a recipe for business success. You're on the air with the restaurant brokers Eric and Robin Gagnon. Today's show featured Food Network megastar Alton Brown.